Welcome to Popternative, where we dive into topical discussions from the worlds of pop culture, social media, and sports. Here is your host, Peter Remoliotis, aka PD Beats.
PD Beats here from Popternative, speaking to artist 44phantom about his latest music. How are you, sir? Welcome to Popternative.
I'm really good. How are you doing, man?
I'm doing good. It's always a weird, exciting time when you put out new music because you're not really sure like what's gonna happen. You work on these songs, you put them out there. What's the mindset like for you with a lot of these tracks, specifically like this new one, Don't Fall?
Honestly, it's just trying to be honest on the record, and however people interpret it is how they're gonna take it. You can't really control what a song's gonna do after it comes out, for the most part. So honestly, it's just kind of making what I think sounds good and hoping other people think it sounds good too.
But it's a strange transition, right? From like going to the studio and like working on these songs and they're finally out there for everyone. Like it's an interesting time, right?
Yeah, it's weird.
There's nothing about it. In terms of your style of music, there's a lot going on when people listen to 44phantom. Did that just kind of happen with you, with your bending of genres, or did you do you think about that at all? That you are blending a lot of different sounds together?
No, I just make whatever songs. I just kind of let the song go where it needs to go. If I need to put a fucking rock drum over a pop song, I'm gonna do it. It's just kind of whatever it's gonna be.
Yeah. Are you noticing though? Like that's a lot of artists are doing that right now. They're just kind of not thinking about it and just kind of throwing it all in there. That's like a trend right now. We could say.
Yeah, but when that trend dies in 10 years, I'll still be doing it.
Exactly. Absolutely. Do you like that there's not like one genre of music that they can call 44phantom? Like I know you say it just kind of happens, but like there's a lot of different things we can call you, right? They're saying like rising grunge and like grunge, but there's rock, there's a bit of R&B in there. There's a lot of stuff going on with your music.
Yeah, I mean, I do. My favorite thing is when someone asks somebody I know, like, "Oh, so what type of music does he make?" And they go, just like everything, you know?
Yeah, it's crazy. So that EP that dropped for you, that was a big deal. That was big for you as an artist. What was that kind of experience like, picking the songs, putting that together? Because that was a big deal for 44phantom.
I mean, I did have a lot of songs done before we made it. So it was a little like, it does a little bit suck cutting some.
Yeah.
But I get it. Like I'd rather have 4 or 5 really good songs than like 10 songs and 6 are good.
Mm-hmm. Was it easier than you thought in terms of like, because especially with an extended play, there's only a certain amount of songs you're going to kind of feature in a showcase, right? I mean, so some are going to get on the chopping block a little bit. You said it was kind of difficult cutting some songs out, but were there some that you were like, yeah, like these have to be on this on the EP?
Not really, because I know like when you make a song, like you can have that own personal attachment, but at the end of the day, I can always listen to the songs that never came out. So if it's something that I just really want to listen to, it's always there. I always can. And so it's more like, okay, well, you do talk over it with my team and everything. And they're like, well, I think this one should go out for this reason. I really like it for this reason. And then when there's kind of a general consensus around a specific song, you're like, okay, this one should definitely go out. And it's kind of just, yeah.
And the rest is history, basically.
Exactly.
I talked to you about this before we started. I mean, you did a collaboration of Audio Chateau. You did Prom King. I really enjoyed that song. I was just curious what you can kind of tell me about that song and that experience, because I really enjoyed that track.
Yeah, it was cool. I went over to Jingle Jared's house. He has this really dope house, and we I just kind of started playing this riff on guitar, and he told me he wanted to do something about like what the kind of prom king and like defying expectations or whatever. And so I was like, all right, well, the first line was, ain't no mother than prom king. And so I got prom queens. So it's like, I don't know. I kind of just had to I wanted to make it like defying expectations, but in a really cocky way.
But I feel like that song is kind of what I'm talking about, where I don't really know what kind of genre of music to call 44phantom. Because if you listen to that song, there's a lot of vibes going on in there. Like that song, like I get with that song, man, like I get like Blink-182 vibes. I get even a little bit of Linkin Park vibes in that. I get a little, no, you know what I mean? Like it's all over the place, that song. And that's what I think I like about it.
Oh, sick. Thank you.
Do you know where I'm coming from though?
Yeah.
Which is pretty crazy. As an artist, I mean, the obvious answer to this question is you hope people enjoy your music and they just keep listening to it and they understand it. But like diving deep into it a little bit more, when people listen to your music, what are you hoping they get out of it? What are takeaways? Like, do you ever think about that?
I just want them to feel something. The songs that never come out or I never really end up finishing making are just the ones that don't do anything for me. If it's, I don't care if you feel sad by listening to it, if you feel mad, if you feel just extremely happy, if any of those, I would just want you to feel something strongly when you listen to my music. I don't really care what emotion that is.
Absolutely. I want to do name three right now. This is something I do when I interview musicians on my show. I want them to kind of get to know a little bit of songs from 44 Phantom. So I need you to name me three songs of yours. But there's three specific songs. I need you to name me a upbeat, up-tempo 44 Phantom song, then a heartfelt 44 Phantom song, like a song that's really, like they're all important to you, but one that stands out. And then a third one is just any song, like a trendy song, a newer song, probably like Don't Fall because it just came out. But yeah, like the first one I want, like, what would be like the upbeat song by 44 Phantom?
Sound Off or Freak. The second one would be, it's very heartfelt, probably Don't Fall, which just came out. And then whichever song I want, Go to Hell, just because I was very mad when I made that song.
See, I used to call that one like the trendy. Like I used to be like up-tempo, heartfelt, trendy. And then everyone just got lazy with the trendy where they were just like, I'm going to say this song because like we have a music video for it. Or that's the song that just came out. So you're the first artist I did the third one, just whatever song you want to throw in there. So that's an exclusive first one there. What have you noticed? I mean, being obviously an artist during the pandemic was really difficult for a lot of musicians. I mean, did you kind of see yourself doing a lot of self-reflection? Did you see yourself doing a lot of like writing? Like, what was that like for you? Because you couldn't tour, you couldn't really go places at times.
Yeah, I mean, I'm always a big self-reflector. You know, you can listen to me talk about how much of a piece of shit I am in every song, but no, I mean, in terms of writing a lot, yeah, I mean, there wasn't anything to do. All other hobbies and activities were kind of not able to be done. So yeah, I mean, I just locked myself in my room for a year.
I mean, I think you're pretty cool. I'm just saying it.
Thank you, man. I think you're pretty cool too, man.
Absolutely. Does it excite you sometimes though when you're kind of messing around with a song or you have an idea or a feeling and you kind of put it on paper and then it gets transformed into a song that has thousands of streams on Spotify and thing? I mean, that is a cool rush too, right?
Yeah, I mean, still my favorite part of making a song is when you do like that melody that just kind of brings something out. Serotonin gets going in your brain and you're just like, this is it. Oh my God.
I'm surprised I haven't asked you this yet. I mean, because I did say you're all over the map with the sounds. For you specifically, do you have, I mean, there's going to be like, it's interesting, right? Because there's going to be like the artists that you grew up like listening to that you enjoy, but then there's also going to be the artists that like influence you in terms of like the style of music that you put together. You know what I mean? So who were some influences for you artist-wise growing up?
Growing up, my dad listened to a lot of alternative rock, but I had two older sisters. My oldest sister listened to a lot of punk. Yeah. And then my younger, older sister listened to a lot of really, really pop music. Like, so I mean, super into Taylor Swift. Then my mom was really into Brad Paisley. And then my dad liked Nirvana a lot. He loved Pearl Jam. And then like even my sister loved Plain White Tees and Blink-182 obviously. And so it's kind of
the band. That's my band, man. And it's really cool to see like also like Travis Barker just collaborating with all these amazing artists too. Like it's crazy to see that resurface as well.
Yeah, I mean I don't think it's really hard to make a song sound bad when Travis Barker's doing the drums.
Yeah. Are there any like, because you've collabed with artists before, are there any like dream collabs that you could think of? Like, is he one of them or?
Yeah, I do think me and Travis Barker need to make a song for sure.
Yeah.
I also want to make a song with like Taylor Swift, Miley Cyrus. Me and The Weeknd would make a bop, I think.
Oh yeah.
And like I think that All Time Low should let me know some.
All Time Low?
Yeah.
Great band.
Great band.
I remember going to Warped Tour and this random like person just gave me like a demo sample of this new record label. I forget even what it was at the time, but I guess it was their first record label. Coffee Shop Soundtrack was on it. There's like 3 other songs, and I was just like, yeah, it's like really we're going back with All Time Low, and like because those first couple All Time Low records were like perfect records.
Yeah.
But naturally, a lot of bands. Do you also find that too? Like when people are like, "Oh, like this band changed their style," or like even you, like some of your songs that you've done a while ago might not sound like they do now. Let's say. I mean, that's just like natural music evolution, though, and growth, right?
I do think that's the problem that can happen with people when you stick to a specific genre. Is that becomes your identity in terms of music. The fact that I'm kind of all over the place from the get-go is like. In 5 years, and I don't think people will be like, well, that song doesn't sound like that song. It's like, well, I've been doing that for 5 years. Like, it shouldn't be anything new.
Yeah.
So.
No, absolutely, man. Well, 44phantom, I wanted to thank you so much for giving me some time on Popternative. It was really awesome chatting with you, man.
Yeah, thank you, man. Thanks for having me.
So Don't Fall, they can listen to that right now. They can listen to all your songs, the EP, wherever they listen to music, right? Spotify, Apple, it's all over the place, basically. Pardon me?
You can listen to it on Deezer.
Yeah. That you're the first person to like plug their Deezer. Like a lot of people still plug SoundCloud, but you're like the first official person. That's amazing. But where can people follow you on social media to keep up to date with everything?
Yeah.
Is it just your name, Instagram?
Yeah.
Perfect. Well, this has been Popternative, youtube.com/Popternative for previous episodes, Popternative.com for other content from the worlds of music, pop culture, and everything else. Until next time, it's 44phantom and PD Beats signing off.
Thank you for tuning in to Popternative. Make sure to check out our past episodes of Popternative on YouTube. Be sure to like Popternative on Facebook and follow us on Twitter.
This has been an Autograph Communications production.